In this example, we'll look at how we apply the normal distribution and how we use the normal cumulative distribution function on our calculator. So the question says that x is a random variable which can be approximated by a normal distribution with a mean value of 30. So 30 is our mean, and with a variance of 4 squared, i.e. sigma squared is equal to 4 squared. So when we are approaching, or when we attempt these questions, we would always draw a bell curve, and we would put down our figures. So the middle value here is the mean. I'll put that mean down here. The mean is 30. And the question is asking us to work out the probability that x is less than 33. So I'll write down 33 in the appropriate section here to the right of 30. And I'm trying to work out the probability of x being less than 33. So remember, the area under the bell curve represents the probability. The total area is 1. So this is what we need to work out. We need to work out this area. Now the normal CD function on our calculator, the normal cumulative distribution function, does work out all the areas from the lower tail up to and including this value here. So we can go to our normal CD function on the calculator, and it enables us to put a value for the lower tail, the lower value, and then the upper value, and then also lets us put the sigma, the standard deviation, as well as the mean. Now here, the lower value, now remember this is an asymptote, so this curve keeps on going closer and closer towards the axis, but never quite reaching it. So what is the lower value? Well, it's not going to be 0. We need to use a very large negative number. If we use a very large negative number, then we'll have all of the data within that value. So the calculator, when you go to the calculator and type in normal CD, it allows you to put in the following inputs: a lower value. So for the lower value, what I'm going to write down is a very large negative number. Minus 1,000 will suffice here. And then for the upper value, it's this value that we're trying to get here. So this is the upper value. And the lower value is something down there to the left, minus 1,000. And as such, we would work out this area, because as we get closer and closer at this tail end on the left-hand side, it's getting closer and closer to 0. So you're not really adding anything on. Okay. So the upper value here we're going to use is 33. The sigma, which is the standard deviation, is 4. Okay, so and then we've got the mean, and the mean here is 30. Put that in, and when you put that in, it gives us an answer for the probability. And it says here that the probability of x less than 33 is equal to 1. The probability of x less than 33 comes out to be 0.773424 decimal places. So that's the probability of x being less than 33. Part B of the question asks us to work out the probability that x is greater than or equal to 24. Again, I will start off by first of all drawing a bell curve. My mean is 30. I'm looking at 24 and greater than or equal to 24, so I write down 24 in the appropriate section, and I'm interested in all of this area. Now go and choose the normal CD function on our calculator, and again it lets us put a lower value, an upper value. Our lower value here would be 24, and our upper value will be a very large positive number, something along here. So I'm going to use a very large positive number. I'll use 1,000 in this case. Our sigma is still 4, standard deviation, and our mean is still 30. So going into our calculator and putting in these values then gets us a probability that x is greater than or equal to 24 is equal to 0.9332 rounded to 4 decimal places. Now we're looking at probability that x is less than 38.2 and greater than 33.5. So again, start by drawing our bell curve for the normal distribution. Put in our mean value, which is 30. Now we're interested in everything between 38.2, which is here, and 33.5, which is here. So the area or probability that we're interested in is here. Again, we can go to our calculator normal CD function, and this time for the lower value we want 33.5. For the upper value this time we want 38.2, and our sigma still remains at 4 and mu is 30. And so this, if we substitute all these values into our calculator, lower value of 33.5 and an upper value of 38.2, it gives us a probability of x being less than 38.2 and greater than 33.5 equals to 0.1706. And lastly, we look at part D of the question, where we want the probability of x being less than 27 or x being greater than 32. Again, start with our normal curve, put in our mean, which is 30. We want x is less than 27, so we want this area, or x is greater than 32, so we want also this area. So it's this or that. So as we have two areas here, we're going to have to do two calculations, and then since we've got the word or there, it's either or, so we can add the probabilities. So first of all, for this area, we would use a lower value on our normal CD of minus 1,000, because we want to end up all the way to the left hand side. An upper value we're going to use of 27. Our sigma is equal to 4, our mu is equal to 30, and this gives us probability of x being less than 27 is equaling to 0.2266, and we can then go and work out this probability here by using a lower value of 32, an upper value of a very large positive number, 1,000, sigma is still 4, mu is still 30, so probability of x being greater than 32 is equal to 0.3085. And since we want either probability of x less than 27 or x is greater than 32, the answer is simply 0.2266 plus 0.3085, which then gives us 0.5351.